traded back and forth talking with Waverider for a lot. So I'm going to try to record a video in the hopes that this can get more information across. We've been having this back and forth about he wants a balanced portrayal of a viewpoint or something. That there is... So here's an older clip. I'll show this real quick just for reference because I don't know. I can find it. No. I have a razor shrunk because honestly... There we go. Out. Cool. Shells happen, slammed on the brakes. Hopefully they overshoot. So I guess you wanted kind of a dissertation on this. Bombs overshot, I guess. I'm in an Orkan. Orkan has terrible AA. This is an open water example. There's a CV and an enemy surface ship. So a lot of times people, when talking about, you know, it's not the CV that'll dumpster you. It's often the being lit, in which case you're going to deal with incoming fire from surface ships. So we've moved to a distance where I could theoretically juke the surface fire from the Baltimore. However, the Lexington is coming in. If we look here, I've stopped on the assumption that I'm going to cause the bombs to overfly. I didn't. Now, realistically, this situation actually taught me to do what you saw in some of the videos that I posted earlier in this thread, where I looked at the planes, and when you see the planes lurching up, that means that the CV player just clicked the attack button and has entered the attack animation. So once he has placed that reticle on the water, he's either going to bomb there or try to manipulate the reticle. Well, if the DD is here when they started in order to chase the destroyer would have to move so that they could then come in after to catch the line. Well, I didn't offer that in the clips before this, in the thread. He took the line, I stopped to force him to stay on the line because the bombs can't do this in such a short amount of time. They just have to accept the drop, which was a broadside drop. In this instance, I'm sure he's about to start his attack animation and I'm going slow. One, because I have a damaged engine, but two, because I literally stopped on the assumption that I can make the bombs overfly, that he wouldn't turn in as tightly as he did. However, he did turn in very tightly. So he did to an extent. I'm assuming he just started the attack, gonna be on me, coming down. He just shot again. So, and there's the release. So I start to move, which actually gives him a little more room to just kind of dial in the drop. Realistically, and the bombs were dropped on this angle, so we did try to divert off, but it looks like it's either 2 or 3 hits. At this point, you're having took... Oh god, I'm sorry, it's early. From 17 down to 8, I guess we took about 9,000, maybe 10,000 damage, which would be probably about 3 bomb hits. Pay attention to Lexington's the bombs, gonna drop, but also have to pay attention. The Lexington's gonna drop 6. So we killed another plane, woot. But he's still got 5 left, because he dropped with 1, we chiseled 1 off, and that's going to leave him with 5. Or dropped with 3, we chiseled 1 off, it drops with 5. Orkan's AA is terrible. So that explains this clip. Now, there's also been this other back and forth stuff where he's talking about, hey, I want to be able to see both sides of the coin. Like, to see... If you're showing me how to dodge bombs, then you're saying that you should always be able to dodge bombs. No. For instance, if we look at what I just saw, or whatever in this clip, I mean, he was able to get the line. I was giving him the line by not maneuvering and not altering. Granted, by staying in the direction that I was, if we can show this, I'm angled to the surface ship. So because there's a multi-threat situation, there's a surface ship and a CV, do I go broadside to the surface ship and get hit by it versus the bombs from the CV? Bomb RNG can be awkward. So, I mean, he could have a perfect drop and get nothing. Or he could have a perfect drop and get 4 and delete me. I mean, he could do a severe amount of damage. So, whatever. I'll be honest, I was overwhelmed in this. I'm trying to explain the shit. Didn't come off well. Is what it is. But in terms of trying to find counter examples, so like I posted so I posted this, taking a third cap, pulling CV attention. So in this instance, I think for this particular battle, which I don't have the whole thing displayed, is I came over here, there was a Friesland, We might have taken the cap together, I don't remember. There was a destroyer over here, obviously he's dead. Came over mid, took that. I believe this was a solo cap, maybe the Friesland left. This was probably a shared cap, and then I pulled the CV's attention onto me to keep him off the Yugamo. It took me a while to decide to do it, but I did ultimately decide to do it. It worked out well because we had multiple ships that assisted with AA, plus we were able to force a fast interaction. In the case with the Orkan, earlier, the Orkan has terrible AA. In the training room, I had no ships near me, so quite literally the CV could take all the time that he wanted to take to find the perfect drop. There was no need to rush, no need to force a situation. But if we look at something like this, I think at this point he's just dropped. Yeah, so if we look at something like this, there is a Bismarck. Not that that's a huge deal, but the fact that there's AA there plus me means that he might not get a second drop, and also he might want to attack sooner rather than later, rather than lingering in the Bismarck AA. Later he shows up with, I think, rockets, which was maybe around here-ish. There was an Alaska, I believe it's after the Bismarck goes down. He comes in with rockets. I see them coming. I turn in preparation to angle for the rockets. It turns out the Alaska just mauls them and they're all dead. I mean, there's a variety of stuff going on, sure. But in this back and forth, it's like, well, if I saw you get dumpstered in a training room, then you must have situations that, you know, where you get dumpstered in a lesson and you should talk about that. Well, the problem is, I mean, I don't play tons and tons of DD. It's not what people come to the stream for, but I do it. I do hours of DD play. And I think in this situation, we did some French stuff. This was about 2 hours. Oh my God, there's just so much of this stuff here, because I clip all this stuff out to kick up to YouTube. There was another 4-something hours or 6-something hours of playing destroyers. I mean, I could try to run a DD stream, and I'm sure at some point we'll come across somebody that'll fuck us over, but like, I just don't have these things ready. I try to put myself in a position where I'm able to assist my team, screen for the team, still provide DD interactions to where I could threaten a DD or bully it off, spot torpedoes, maybe fall back and assist with AA. Even with terrible AA, Priority Sector does a percentage chunk, and I mean, if I go off in the middle of nowhere in a destroyer with no AA, then I'm just going to get sat on by planes. It's oh my God. Lastly, because I know I'm rambling, but I'm sorry, I'm tired. Fuck, where did he say something? It was in this, which was like, even you, as good as your CV knowledge, couldn't stop the CV from dumping on you. Please understand that when I show angling to an incoming bomb strike, why I did it and how it paid off, that's a process of informing. It's not a process of saying, look at me, I'm amazing, nothing touches me, because I'm amazing. It's not that. It's a process of going, I know the interaction, 2 + 2 = 4. Right now, at this line, what he just did, he has no option to get a good strike on me, so he either takes a bad strike or he doesn't strike. Well, in those cases, they took bad strikes. Okay, so we put him in a situation like that. It's like if you take a shot at a broadside Venezia, but the Venezia knew you were going to shoot, swings out real quick and slides all the shells off the side of the hull. They knew the interaction they were going into, they planned for it, and they executed it. Does that mean a Venezia can't be dev-struck? No. Does it mean that a high-end destroyer player that goes like, bruh, you know, you can throttle jockey and you can maneuver and you can do this to dodge shells, that they don't die to shell fire? No. People get hit. CVs hit. I hit on screen when I play CVs, like, or on stream. I'm frustrated and confused because I can't offer counterexamples readily. So does that just make what I can offer invalid? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe it's too early. Anyway, I'll post this because this back and forth stuff, I don't know, it feels like it's just kind of filling up the thread. So I don't know. I'm giving this Hopefully he watches it. Maybe it answers something. And if not, I can try streaming. If you want to come over to the stream, we can have a conversation and talk about stuff there or something. I don't know.